Okay, this is the proof that's on page 68. So for this one, it says, arrange the statements and reasons below in a logical order to complete the proof. The theorem is if two angles are complementary to the same angle, then the two angles are congruent. Okay, you have two things here. The given, it says angle A and angle B are each complementary to angle C. And then you have prove that angle A is congruent to angle B. Okay, so the very first thing that you write in your two-column proof is going to be your given. Okay, and then the first reason is just the word given. Okay, like you see it here. This is going to be the first part of your proof. The very last thing is whatever you had to prove. So this says prove angle A is congruent to angle B. This is your very last thing. Okay, because once you prove that, you're done. So if I'm looking at this, okay, it says angle A and angle B are each complementary to angle C. That's my given. That's the very first thing. Okay, there's no equation here. Okay, and I need to somehow get to an equation. The most common thing that you're going to do for this is if there's some kind of keyword in your given, you're going to use the definition of that keyword to get an equation. Okay, so if I'm looking, I see here, it says definition of complementary angles. This is the next thing that you're going to do. Okay, and it says that A and B are each complementary to angle C. Complementary means they add up to 90. Okay, so I'm using the definition to say that angle A plus angle C is 90 and angle B plus angle C is 90. Okay, from there, you have two things that are both equal to 90 degrees. Okay, anytime you have two things that are both equal to the same thing, you're going to use transitive property, okay, which is this one. So transitive property is when you have the same thing repeated, okay, they're both equal to this, and they're both equal to 90. Sorry, I hope you can see that. You cancel out what they're equal to, and you write what's left. So I would cancel out the 90s because that's what is repeated. Those are both equal to 90. And you write this part, the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle C equals this part, measure of angle B plus the measure of angle C. Okay, and you can see that's right here. Okay, the next thing, so I've already used the top two. I know this goes last, and then I've used this one. Okay, so process of elimination tells me this, but here's how I know why. Okay, I have the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle C equals the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle C. Okay, well, I have the measure of angle C on both of those sides. Okay, if that was like a 2, I would know I could subtract 2 from both sides and then that would be gone. It would be canceled out from both sides. Well, you can do the same thing if it's the measure of angle C. So I'm actually going to subtract the measure of angle C from both of those sides, and I'm left with the measure of angle A equals the measure of angle B, okay, which is what I have here, and it was by subtraction because I subtracted the measure of angle C from both sides. And then the last step is to get here, and I already knew this was last, okay? For this one, it's a really simple step. You're just changing, essentially, you're just changing this equal sign to a congruent sign. Okay, they mean the same thing. Congruent is two equal pieces, and then this is saying that the measures of those angles are equal. Okay, so if I'm changing an equal sign to a congruent sign, okay, or sometimes you'll be doing the opposite, changing a congruent sign to an equal sign, your reason for that is definition of congruent segments. Okay, that's that one. If you still have questions, please let me know. I will answer whatever you need. The top of page 69 says, arrange the statements and reasons below in a logical order to complete the proof. Okay, I'm going to start with my given. Angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical angles, and then angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Okay, so those two things, those are my two givens. Okay, so those go first. It does not matter what order you put those in. Whatever you prefer is fine. Okay. Now, this one's already an equation, okay? Even though it's a congruent sign, not an equal sign, that counts, okay? This is not. It says angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical angles, okay? There's no equations equation there. But I do know that vertical angles are congruent. Okay, so instead of using the definition of vertical angles, because it's not going to help me to know what they are, not for this anyway, but I do know that vertical angles are congruent, so I can use that to say, instead of angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical angles, I can say that they are congruent. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Okay, and then once I have that, if I know that angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent, and angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent, okay, see, there's transitive property popping up again. I have angle 1 here, and I have angle 1 here. Okay, so if I cancel angle 1 out of both of those and write what's left, angle 2 and angle 3, I can say that they're congruent, and that was transitive property. Also, I knew that was the last step because that's what I had to prove.